Hi, Chef Ryan Phillips here. You've probably already had calamari by now. You may have even had a paella that had squid over the top of it. But here in Korea, you'll find numerous dishes with this fresh seasonal ingredient. One in particular is incredibly eye-catching. It's a whole squid, stuffed and steamed to perfection. That is Ojingeo Sundae. I have a favorite road trip here in Korea this time of year. Zip out to the East Coast at night and you'll see all these lights of fishing boats out in the sea, and they're catching these beauties right here, our fresh local squid. Easy to clean, don't be intimidated. All right, the first thing you want to do is just grab here and pull the body and the tentacles apart. And then there's just this little quill that's inside. It's the only kind of cartilage, and you just want to remove that one quill. Then with the tentacles side, just below the eyes, cut straight down through, and then push through, and you'll remove the beak. And all of this and all of this is what we're going to use. The rest we can discard. Now the body part that we're going to stuff is pretty easy to rinse. Just straightforward. Again, feel around in there for anything that you might have missed earlier. When the water comes out clean, you're good to go. And then with the tentacles, there are these little suction cups on there, and you want to be sure and just run your fingers down each tentacle and remove those. That part takes a little bit of scrubbing, but you can do it all in just a minute or two. So let's season up the body part of the squid real quick, just on the outside. The inside, we don't need to season because our stuffing will do that for us later. So what makes this dish really unique is this stuffing. And we're gonna start with these starch noodles or damyeon. Got just about 25 grams. We need to soak these for about 20 minutes. Here are a few other ingredients for our stuffing. This glutinous rice or sticky rice is a small short grain rice, and it's already pre-cooked and it's at about room temperature. Then we've got 1 red Korean chili diced up, a half of an onion diced up, about 5 scallions chopped, and then just about 30 grams or so of grated carrot. All right, I realize there's kind of a lot of ingredients on this one to prep, but let me introduce just a couple more here. This is our mung bean sprouts or bean sprouts, and I've got some boiling water going here. These are going in just for about 30 seconds is all we need. Okay, we want to get these out pretty quick because we want them to retain some of that lovely crunch. All right, get them into cold water to stop that cooking. Go, nice and cooled down. Give them a squeeze and set them to strain. All right, now let's turn back to our tentacles. We're going to blanch these just for about 1 minute, right into the same water. All right, so after just 1 minute, get those out into cold water and just cool them down and then into the strainer. All right, finally, we can go back to our starch noodles that have been soaking for 20 minutes. I want these going into this same water now that has the flavor of those sprouts and then the squid. All right, they are tender enough, still got a nice chew to them. Into cold water, cool them down quickly, and then into the strainer. Now we're gonna take these three ingredients, starting with our sprouts, and chop them up for our stuffing. Same deal with the squid. Let's just get this into small pieces. One more to chop, the starch noodles or dangmyeon. All right, and lastly, we got some firm tofu here going into the cheesecloth. And wrap this sucker up and give it a squeeze. Get as much moisture out of there as possible. That will complete all of our ingredients for our stuffing today, right there. All right, let's mix up everything here very well. Incorporate all these ingredients with the glutinous rice. So feel free to be creative and put whatever you want to do in here, but I do recommend the chop sal or the glutinous rice and the sprouts and that dangmyeon or the starch noodles. All right, let's give this a little taste and see how much we want to season it. Okay, just a little bit of salt here. Remember, we already salted our squid. Go. So there's one more thing we've got to do before we can get to stuffing, and that is get some all-purpose flour. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon inside of each of these squid. All right, and then you just kind of shake it around a little bit and coat the inside. What that's gonna do is help bind everything together, help hold that filling in place while we're steaming it and then later slicing it. Okay, now we've got our beautiful, colorful stuffing. One thing to keep in mind when you're stuffing these squid is that the squid, while it's cooking, while it's steaming, it wants to shrink, but your filling wants to expand. So do not overstuff your squid, or else it could kind of split on you and you'll ruin your presentation. Once you feel like you've got enough stuffing into these, just take kind of a long toothpick and just go up through one side and then back down through the other side, and it's gonna seal that up enough where that filling is gonna stay in there while we steam it. I've got a steamer set up here at a rolling boil. Let's get both of our Ojingeo Sundae into our steamer. These are gonna take about 10 minutes. They're gonna get a beautiful red color on them. All right, 10 minutes is up. Our squid is ready. We've got to be patient though. I hate to say it, but we have to wait 10 whole minutes for this to rest before we can slice it. So let's get these on the board to cool down. Look at that beautiful color. I'm gonna give this a shot and see if I can slice these into nice little rings. finally get to taste our Ojingeo Sundae, our stuffed squid. Gonna give a little dip in this soy lemon. The 10 minutes in the steamer is perfect. The squid is not chewy at all. It's nice and tender. Has like a little bit of an al dente thing going, a little pop. And then the freshness of the ingredients and those fun textures on the bean sprouts and the starch noodles. Oh, so fun.